Welcome to Roundup Reddit. Today, we have a mix of dramatic, emotional, and shocking tales that will leave you speechless. Let's get right into it. Story: I just found out my stepsister is pregnant with my ex-boyfriend's baby, my first ever Reddit post, so please let me know if anything is unclear. I tried my best and really just needed to get this all off my chest because IDK how to feel right now. Name and slight date changes are used. Background context: I, female, 22, began dating Dom, male, 22, when we were in 8th grade. I dated Dom all 4 years of high school, 2015 2019. After dating for a year, he cheated on me with my best friend. This was my first serious relationship, and it was a very big deal for a 16-year-old me. At the time, I was heartbroken, but I stayed with him. We were on and off and pretty toxic. We did not break up until our senior year. We were both 17. I have since been single and taken the time to connect with myself. I have also discovered new and different people. I have since had other emotionally significant relationships, but this was my first love, and I learned so much from it. Anyways, the moral of it all is, Dom was a very significant person in my life. In 2020, my dad got married. This was a very quick marriage. They eloped. My stepmom family lived in a different state. The first time I met my stepfamily was when they moved into my dad's house. I was 19 and lived with my mom. My stepsister Elle was 18. We became really good friends really fast, and we did everything together. We bought the same clothes, drank the same drinks, went to every activity together, planned our days around each other's schedule, and we were besties. We told our entire lives to each other, and we helped each other heal a lot. We cried and knew everything about each other. In summer 2021, I noticed Elle was acting weird. I felt like she was avoiding me. I would tell her when I was coming over, and she wouldn't be at the house when I got there. She wouldn't stay in the same room or talk to me for long, which was unusual behavior. Around the same time, my dad was acting weird too. One day we were in the car and he asked me, "Are you mad at Elle?" I was confused and said, "No, why?" He just told me that she thought I was. Another time he asked me, "Do you know who Elle hangs out with?" "I'm not sure who. I was just wondering if you knew." I blew it off at the time and just said, "The only friends I know she has here are me and my best friend." She had just moved there and it was around the end of COVID, so she really didn't know anyone. The weird but minor incidents continued, and I started to connect dots in my head. I began to have suspicions that she was spending time with my ex-boyfriend. This was summer 2021, right before I was leaving to go to school, 8 hours away. In December, when I came back for break, I got into a fight with my dad and we stopped talking. Full story in the comments. It happened the first day back from break, so I have not seen any of them since the last time I was with them in the summer. The fight was only with my dad, but the other members, who I went from speaking to sometimes multiple times a week, just stopped communicating with me completely. This was very hard for me. I really had to grieve the loss of all these people that I had such deep connections with. It was especially hard losing the relationship with my dad, but he is really toxic and I cannot maintain a relationship with him. It also hurt losing someone I considered a best friend. I always thought it was weird that Elle stopped talking to me also. It felt like it must have been a buildup of events, but I just didn't understand why it was happening. Soon it all made sense because in summer 2022 it was confirmed by mutual friends that Dom and Elle were dating. As if that wasn't enough, here's what's happening now. A family member reached out to me a few days ago and told me that Elle is pregnant. It is Dom's baby. I feel shocked and confused. I just don't know what to say. Elle knew about Dom. I explained the entire relationship to her. They met knowing exactly who the other person was. For context, my biological sister is dating Dom's best friend, so I think before I left for school, they were all beginning to hang out together. I say that to make it clear, they met mutually knowing who the other was, i.e. my stepsister and my ex-boyfriend. Dom came to all the holidays and family trips, family dinners, and birthdays when we were together. He was around for years. My family knows who he is. This was my first love, and of course I knew the day would come when he was having a family with someone else. But I didn't think the child would technically be my niece-nephew. This is just sick. I have not talked to them and haven't for about 2 years. So this post isn't about what to do. I just don't know how to handle this information. I don't want to talk to them and I don't want to think about them and I just want to forget about it all. But it feels like it's just one thing after another. It's like Dom isn't in my life anymore. I have no direct contact with him, but he is still fucking with me. I just want to let go of it all, but I'm mad at everyone involved. My stepsister, my ex, my dad, my sister, my stepmom, all of them. I'm angry and I'm hurt by it all, but I wish I wasn't. Please, what am I supposed to do with this information? I have already reached out to the family member who told me and explained I appreciated their intentions. But for future reference, they did not need to feel obligated to tell me any other updates, and I do not want to be informed about anything else. That was a few days ago, and I haven't heard back from them. Honestly, everyone just sucks here, and in someone else's version of it all, I probably suck too. Update. Please give me some grace trying to respond to the comments. Right now, I'm just going to add context. I logged into this account today. I just found out what karma is, and I have only listened to Reddit stories on the Two Hot Takes podcast. I am not trolling. I have actually thought thought about writing on Reddit for a while because my family dynamic is pretty chaotic and bizarre. I have been in therapy since I stopped talking to my dad. I will talk to my therapist about this, but I got this news the day after our weekly appointment, so I have to wait until next week. I know this post was very emotionally driven, but I need to feel this right now so I can eventually let it go. I promise I can rationalize all of this after I have my dramatic moment, lol. The story about my dad requires a lot more context to understand, and I am going to make a separate post about it. Honestly, I think this is actually why I am upset about the situation, but I just haven't figured out my feelings yet. This post was a way of trying to figure them out, get this off my chest, and hear some outside opinions. The story about my biological sister, 24, also has a lot of other context. Long story short, we have never got along in my entire life. She also has a lot of mental health and drug abuse problems, so our relationship has been very rocky my whole life. She has betrayed me plenty of times, and I can make another post just about her too. I'm already out of contact with everyone in my family except for my mom. Story 2, I, 23, male, just found out that my sister, 17, female, is pregnant, but I only know. How do I handle the situation? This is haunting me, and I need help. I, 22, male, am the oldest of 6. My sister, 17, female, is the third oldest of our bunch. Growing up, we didn't have a great childhood, which has led to separation between me and my younger sisters. While I was visiting my grandparents, my uncle, 40, male, asked to have a beer, and I went out to smoke with him. Things are going normal as we were chatting about life, moving, and other matters. While we were chatting about updates on his divorce, he told me that my sister and him were moving into an apartment together in the city. That didn't faze me much as I knew they were close, and she had previously lived with him, my soon-to-be ex-aunt and cousins, in another state a few months ago. This is information that my mom, dad, and grandparents know, but I'm the first of the children that know. As we continue shooting the breeze, he tells me that he has something to tell me about, something that would want me to yell at him out for, or just walk away and never look back. In my mind, I thought it was something about suicide or abuse, as he is going through not the greatest divorce and has been struggling. Then he drops a fucking nuke. He got my sister pregnant. I'll be as precise as possible about the details, but I still feel shockwaves after hearing it. He told me the reason they're moving in is because he is the father of my sister's baby, and besides him and my sister, I am the only family member who knows. He said that everything that transpired was consensual, and that their intent is to keep the baby, and the reason they are moving out is to keep my sister protected from the backlash. He repeatedly told me that I can do whatever I want with this information, and that he won't judge me if I tell everyone in the family. But I am left in awe that he would be romantically involved with his blood-related niece, and 2, think that I am fit and able to carry this information. It's only been a few hours since writing this post, but I just feel sick being the only one outside of them who is burdened with this information. A few details that I should mention that are scrambling in my head. Their move-in date is only a few days away. The baby is due late this year, Oct Nov. My uncle is in the process of being divorced and has 2 kids of their own. My uncle is our mom's brother. My uncle and sister are religious, Christianity. My uncle has never been a person to tell a lie, or at least not to me, so I come to you on Reddit as a source of help. How do I handle this information? After talking to my girlfriend, she pointed out that it seems that he wants me to be the one to break the news to the family, but I just can't handle my parents not knowing that them moving out is actually because they are having a kid. She's not a legal adult yet, so I'm not sure what laws were broken on top or incest. I'm going to bed after writing this, but I'll try to edit or reply when I can. Too long. Didn't read. My uncle got my sister pregnant, blood-related, and I'm the only one who knows. Edit, grammar, spelling errors. I have also told my parents. Me and my girlfriend have been reading your comments, and I appreciate all your advice. I will do a full update tonight as more comes out, and I have the energy to make a post. Story 3, I, 24, male. Just found out that my ex-GF, 31, female, is pregnant right after we broke up. My ex-girlfriend, 31, female, just told me 24, male, that she's pregnant. I don't know what to do. I went on an exchange program for 1 year in the US and had a nice relationship with an older girl. It was my first relationship and it was pretty good. The age gap didn't bother me at first and we really loved each other. We stayed together for 9 months, almost my entire time there. We went through a lot of discussions about our relationship. We almost broke up after I realized that our lives are incompatible. But we decided to stay together throughout my time there before going back to my country. We discussed us getting married for visa purposes. She wanted to get married for real and I wasn't ready at all for that. We discussed kids, and I made it clear that I didn't want kids, not anytime soon, while she said she didn't have much time left. and wanted kids in the near future. In the end, I decided that we should break up, and I went back to my country. I come from a Muslim background, although I am not religious, and adultery is a huge problem. She just called me to tell me she is 2 months pregnant. We already broke up, and I am back in my country. I am having a panic attack and have no idea what to do or to even tell anyone about it. Help? Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed these stories, give us a thumbs up, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Roundup Reddit.